for the people that you want to go pay $1,500 per class, $2,000 per class. Donald Trump had a college, and he doesn't have one student that graduated anything. You understand? But because of his name, Donald Trump, everybody wanted to go to his class. No. So you got something. You got the best person that you can align yourself with, Cheryl. Then you got to learn how to duplicate yourself. After you learn all those things, you're only going to become big and successful by duplicating yourself. Because you can't do it all by yourself. You can't do it. I don't care what it is you're doing. You must have other people to help you. That's how Microsoft got so big. That's how IBM got so big. That's how, think about it, imagine IBM, the guy's making, let's say, the guy with Microsoft, he made Windows #1. And he's still now trying to program, he's now trying to program #2. If he was working by himself. If he was working by himself. And it shows that you don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You have a good idea, and you don't know everything. You associate yourself with people that can assist you in getting what you want done. And you look good. It said the ants work for the bees who are hired by the seeds. That means the people that didn't graduate college, that missed years in school, but they have an idea, the willingness to achieve things. And they don't know how to do everything, so they look for the best assistant and hire them and pay them a handsome salary and have their work done. Now they become millionaires and billionaires. That guy just become a contented worker. You understand? He said duplicate yourself and never quit. And if you apply those techniques to your business, regardless of what business it is, you too will become successful. Alright, so I learned, even though I hear those things, the things that Cheryl said, but they're new to me all over again. Every week, I take notes. Every week. Alright, that's because, Cheryl,
Crystal,
I appreciate the things that you said. It is so true. Alright?
Thank you.
So, that's my part.
No. You said so many things, Bernard, and I appreciate, your support. I appreciate your presence and the contribution that you make here and that you've been making, the investment that you've been making in my life. Now, I think sometimes we take for granted the value in our relationships. We take it for granted. We take it for granted. Now, when I come here, like this evening, y'all see the passion, right? But like I told you, I spoke to a powerful woman last night, and I tell people I don't do drugs, I don't do alcohol. You can imagine how it would be if I used to smoke weed or something. I mean, just for talking to her and seeing her products, all last night, I was like, yeah, boy, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. And then when she told me the why, she said to me, look, there's somebody in Barbados, a mother who committed suicide, left 2 children behind, and they want a bigger house, and they want to do more in my business so I could adopt those 2 children. Well, listen, all last night, the voice of me was weird. You hit some crap, you had mollies. But no, I am driven by that. I'm driven by that. That's what I'm sitting here to do. I'm inspired by that, right? It's like when men go on a rum shot and they get ready excited because they're wrong other people that drink rum. I am inspired by you. When you tell me your dreams, when you tell me the things, I get really excited. Listen, sometimes I go to say, heart, cool down, cool down, cool down. But we take sometimes our relationships for granted, and in our, I would want to say quest for wealth and to change our financial legacies and so on. Yeah. I want us to really understand the power and the value in our relationships. I had, and this is dear to my heart, right? As I think about it, I want to cry, because If we could get this area right, everything else will fall in line. If we could truly appreciate each other, if we could truly trust each other, if we could truly share with each other, the dog dead. I watch week after week how the Indian community come together, come into our communities and collect money from us every week. But we ain't got the money, you know. Now for this program, oh yeah, I want to do it as ridiculously priced as it is. Oh, I mean, pay for that. But we're gonna every week. All the other races, they either come to us and we give them money, or we go into town and go in their stores that only have black people as fronts and we spend our money. Yeah. But somehow we don't understand that money grows in circles. And when we create our own communities, when we create our own circles and take that money and put it in that circle, that's how we are creating our own wealth and keeping our own wealth. I had a situation, I had an experience on Friday. And I'm sharing this because at the end of the day, I don't want it to fall on deaf ears. I'm sharing it because I want it to bring about change. Like I said, we are here. If we can change our thoughts, if we can begin there. I'm sharing so that our thoughts, the way we think, if we can change the way we think, then we act from how we think. Our actions follow our beliefs. So I'm sharing it so that there can be some challenge to how we think. I had a situation on Friday where a prominent doctor in Barbados. Now, I met this particular doctor through another friend of mine who's a doctor. Now, this particular doctor is best friends with the other doctor who is really closer to me. But again, the power of relationships. So because, you know, there's a saying, it doesn't matter what is and what you know, it's who you know. So because of the person who introduced me to him, I am just as good a friend to the second doctor as I am to the first. Now, I went to the first doctor's office and the two of them are sharing a building. And I went to the first doctor's office. And while there, the second doctor apparently called the receptionist and the receptionist told him, oh, Cheryl is here and she's doing XYZ for us. He said, oh, I'm coming downstairs though. He came downstairs and, you know, we were glad to see each other. We embraced and everything. And then he did like this and he called me into one of the private rooms in the building. And he said, have a seat. And then he went over the other side and he sat down and lapped his foot. So I'm preparing myself now thinking, what could he be telling me now? Because I know, you know, there were some things, he was having some challenges. There were some things that was happening to him. And he said to me, I want to thank you for introducing me and sending me the invitation to the Hyperverse meeting that you sent out. Because what happened, I realized that he had joined the meeting after it had finished, Bernard. When I checked my email, I saw something saying he had joined. And he said, I want to thank you for that. And I mean, he's having, you know, like how when a doctor sits you down and tell you, like, you know, they want to tell you, get your house in order. That's the kind of stance that he had, right? So I wasn't sure if he was going to tell me, like, I get robbed in this thing or I get, because he sat back, his thing, and having this. He said, I want to thank you for telling me about it and sharing it with me. He said, but I have something to tell you. When Bitcoin first came out in Barbados, you know, I was one of the few people who took that bite and invested in Bitcoin. I put in a little, you know, $5,000 in Bitcoin. And then, you know, they had the incident where the Bitcoin, the value plummeted. But then it came right back up. And today, Bitcoin is worth $89 and something thousand. He said, no, I couldn't even afford to buy a coin. This happened to me Friday, right? I don't tell you all lies, sir. I don't tell lies. All the stories I tell you, believe what I tell you. And you could go and check it, right? And this is why I think it's important for us as black people to talk, to be honest. If we always talk about slavery and what the others do, this is what we have to do if we want to combat all the effects of slavery, if we want to build our own society. That's why I'm talking, right? Not because I like to talk. So this is where he looked at me and told me, this happened Friday. He said, you know, they plummet. And then after that, it came back up. I didn't have enough to buy not even a whole coin. The amount I put in gave me 0.4% of a coin. He said, but, you know, because, no, this is a person who has had some serious challenges and needed lots of money to deal with these challenges. He said, but you know, the reason I'm able to travel and go overseas and do what I have to do is because of that investment. You know, I have quite a penny. And I'm sitting down there in my chair thinking, but I know this man, all these things on, this man ain't shared this with me. I shared it with his daughter friend, and his daughter friend ain't jumping on it. I said, so wait, Jeff, no? He said, no. And he did his hand like this. Yeah. And he did like that. And I'm thinking, but Jeff would die for you. That's what I'm thinking to myself. And so he continues the conversation. He says, yeah, I'm traveling on Sunday too. I'm going back overseas. And he said, I'm able to do all of this because of Bitcoin. Right? So that for me, because I'm doing it, but still not having, let's say, the evidence of, oh, this how big it is. I mean, we saw the little stories floating around about the Prime Minister and this body, but you don't know what to believe, right? But this is a man that I can touch, that I know. And I can say also that he was also a reverend. Right? So there's certain things about him that I know, well, listen, this man ain't gonna play with me, this man ain't gonna tell me the lace. The man said to me, this is how I can do this. And I'm leaving the island on Sunday because of Bitcoin. So then I said, but I could tell Jeff. He said, yeah, you could tell him. No. Yeah, you could tell him. So I called Jeff and I said, Jeff, I got to tell you, come here, boy. I said, Jeff, no, I want you to know that I'm the only friend you got. Just because you don't know I don't play. So Jeff looking at me now. I said, Jeff, sit down. I said, talk to Jeff. And he started to tell Jeff. So Jeff said, and I mean, I love Jeff. Jeff said, wait, how much you put in? He said, 5,000. Jeff said, all right, well, I can't afford that. I can pay half. Decision made instantly, right? And I'm sitting there watching and I'm saying to myself, this is the problem with our people. That information should have been, if we are friends, if I know something that worked for me, I'm going to put a gun to Bernard's head, to Victorine's head, to come, listen, if you decide even at gunpoint you're doing it, well then, I've done my best. But I am not going to hold out on you. I'm not going to not tell you. Because if the two of them, if he had told his friend and the two of them had done that, the building that they're renting right now, they would have owned. And this is what I want to see happen for us. It can happen. It can happen. It has to happen. It has to happen.
One of the reasons I'm so adamant about this, I was one of those people who bought Bitcoin back in that time. But the reason Bitcoin took that drastic drop because you had miners over here, you had exchanges over there. They were never together. There were just a whole bunch of little entities that was trying to do this thing together. Nobody was working together. And so they played with that until Sam Lee and the other guy here just bought everything and put it all together. Now they control 60% of everything. They control the rise, they control the fall, they control the buy, they control the sell, they control everything. So it's much more secure. But we had a person that we both know that was in the business. She called me and asked me to join. And quickly after I joined, because the Bitcoin went down. So she was so mad about the whole thing. Well, it was about $300. It was $150 that you used to put away. It was $150. She robbed the rib, and I'm going to get rid of this. I ain't never going to do this again. And the world comes to an end. Every business that you see today, every large business today, started out, they had a rise at the beginning, they had a rise, and they had falls. But and somewhere in between there, they learned how to balance, just a plan of plane. You know, you could go up and go down until you could balance it out. It's not the end of the world, it's only the beginning. Well, she had $150 in Bitcoin back then. This was 2016. She had $150 in Bitcoin. I said, look, I get you $150 in Bitcoin. All right, because I can spend my money now and blah, blah, blah. I said, I tell you what, I get $200. They take $200. Give me.
And that's the man I know used to be.
You know what? When I saw this business, I could not get into my Coinbase business, Coinbase wallet, because you forgot all about the wallet, the address, and all that. But I only had $150 in this particular account. Well, after I took a look at this at Hyperverse, I said, oh, gee, I got some Bitcoin over here, some Ethereum over here, some this over there, some that coin over there.
He also bought Ethereum.
Right. I bought Ethereum. Ethereum was $34 a coin. $34 a coin. That's about $2,000 to $3,000 a coin. Okay? So when I finally got into my...
He said to me, Ethereum is now $6,000, Bernard. Yes, Friday, Ethereum was $6,000.
Well, I made a significant jump there. You know, it was around 3,000. It came down. Once you see Bitcoin come down, everything coming down.
And then when it goes back up,
everything goes up. And that's why I tell people, you must, if you're gonna do things like that, you must learn what to do, when to do it, how to do it. Most of our people were trained to buy high and sell low. Why? Going down, why? Get up, why? Jumping off. And we get off of this low. Wrong. You buy it low and sell high. Just a property. You buy a house cheap as you can. And then after only years, you do some work on it and stuff like that. And then you sell it at a premium price. So you can make your money. Right? But when I did get into my Coinbase wallet, I had thousands of dollars from the original $150. Because at that time, though, Bitcoin was like 2,000 something, right? Bitcoin went from there all the way to $68,000 for the same coin.
Because what he told me on Friday, he said to me, he was transferring 5,000 US from his account for the trip that he is taking, because he left today, he traveled today. But not only that, the other thing he said to me, he said, Cheryl, you're into technology. I have a friend who lost his codes to his wallet for the Bitcoin. He has millions of dollars because he bought Ethereum, he bought Bitcoin, everything. He told me the guy lost his codes. He has it somewhere on a hard drive, but he doesn't know how to get it. And he's asking me if I can help the guy to search that hard drive to find that code. I told him, sure, I know how to do that. I just want 1 million. And I'll get the code for him. Just what? 1 million make me real happy. So I'm just saying.
I tell you what, I'm such a nice guy. I would help you, and I'll tell you give me 10%.
You'll go for it. Yeah.
10%.
And this happened on Friday, and I'm thinking, where do I live? On the moon? I am a spider. You know, these things are happening, and this doctor drives a simple, normal Mazda Lantis. Right? You understand what I'm saying? But like, remember I told you with the stats he had, I thought he was going to tell me, well, look, I'm ill. I only have 3 months to live. I thought that was the nature of the information he was going to give me. But I was shocked. And I walked away from that even more convinced that we have to be more intentional about educating and informing our own community. Now, if he had told 40 people among us about that and said, do it because of X, even if they had done it a year, 2, 3 years after him, the fact is we would have had the evidence. And our communities would be better for it. If other people go and buy it, it's not going to make his coin, it's not going to make him get less money. It's going to make him get more money. You understand? And these are the things that we need to be told and told in a way that we will understand and not forget. So, building our own resources, building our own circles of knowledge and wealth. Another situation I had that left an indelible impression on me. Years ago, I was in Super Center. I went to the Super Center and trying to get to the dairy aisle. And as I'm trying, I see this. I mean, it was like, because you know, in Barbados, you don't see a lot of Caucasians. You don't see a lot of Caucasians. You don't usually see them in groups like that together, right? You can be in Barbados for months and not really know that a lot of Caucasians live here, unless you go to the right events. So I'm in Super Center and I'm seeing a group of Caucasian people, and they're blocking the dairy aisle. I'm thinking, what these people could be doing? They got a meeting in here, they got a conference, something going on with it. What could they be doing at this time of the day in a circle? What could they be talking about? So I am trying to get through, and I'm eavesdropping. One of the women in there, her husband had cancer, and everybody in that circle was telling her, oh, you know, so-and-so had some cancer, and they tried some stem cell, and oh, you know, if you go to Collins, you can get this special diaper. And everybody in that circle was pitching in and telling that woman what to try and what to do and stuff. And I said, you see this? See this? See this?
One of the things is that we don't open up. I remember when I got my prostate removed. That's a big no. You don't tell nobody. After I got it, oh yeah, I had mine last week, and then last month, last year, 3 years ago, 3 years ago, I got my prostate. And while I was going through the process,
there was nobody.
I was looking for somewhere just to talk to, just to share information with you, and nobody. Everybody asked me, I don't know what you're talking about. But after I said, yeah, I got it done. You know, maybe too fast, too slow, but it's done. My PSA is 0.2. So that means I don't have no cancer and whatever. Oh yeah, I got mine done last week. They tell you, these people that live in the same house with you, alright? Or live across the street. And you knew from the time, like one, you and I were friends with each other 11 years old. But they do not tell you these things. Like, it's something that, oh Lord, I want to start a group of men talking about prostate. When I was the vice president.
That's something you want to do, Bernard?
Yes, I would like to start something like that.
I'll connect you with the same doctor.
You know, when I was the vice president of Christian Men in Action at church, I brought in urologists to talk about that. And when he was talking and, you know, this will happen or that might happen, you'll find that this is happening. I said, holy shit, he's talking about me. Everything he was talking about was happening to me. I get up all hours at night, run to the bathroom, this and that, But nobody, you can't find nobody to discuss anything with you. Even the stupid doctor man was talking, the doctors I had, he tells you a lot of foolishness. Alright? And then I decided after my pops had prostate, he died, I said, well, gee, I better look into this thing real quick. I started panic. But I think I still believe that it was done prematurely. Because my prostate, my PSA reader was only 5.2. And I had a friend of mine, his was 7. And he was still going. So, but that's our downfall. And then again, we were forced to be like that from our prior training and the way we were brought up in circles and the things that we went through in life. We were trained to keep our mouth shut, don't say nothing to family, friends. And if you discover a little bit of wealth or something, keep your mouth shut. Because he's going to tell you, master, you carry a food, you carry a money, so we all keep our mouth shut.
Yeah. And we're no better off for it.
No better off. We need to break that.
We got to break that. That's another life frog that we have to be intentional about. Sharing the knowledge, sharing the information. And like I said, especially when you are not going to lose if you tell somebody else. Like I said, if you had told other people and more people had gone and buy, he would have gotten more money on his investment. So if you look at it and you realize, like I remember at university, we were doing a group project. There was a guy in the group who didn't participate or do anything really with the work, but I wanted an A. So I did a lot of the work, did most of the work, had no problem doing all the work, I wanted an A. And everybody was like, he didn't contribute, so don't put in his name. And I was like, but if I don't put in his name, I ain't getting a better A. There's no, if something happened to me and it was part of a group, I would want that team to cover me. I said, I ain't getting a better A if I don't leave. I'm including him. The very day we had to do the presentation, the guy showed up. We could not get the overhead projector to work. Who you think fixed the overhead projector? The same guy. That's all he did. But after that, when he came to me and he said, I heard that you were the person who advocated for me and fought for me and things. I said, well, that's easy. He said, no, I want to thank you. He said, because you know what? I'm a soldier. I served this country, Barbados. And the time we had to do that presentation, I had to be preparing teams to do the march and everything at the garrison. I was serving my country. So while people, and he was angry, he said, well, then jackasses, the talking, I out there in the rain. right? Serving my country. I felt bad. I felt bad because there's another human being. There's another person who has challenges, who has a family, and right there and then, people are trying to influence me to say, oh, don't include him. I'm not going to get a better A. And you know what? That person is part of my community and part of Health Network Ministries up to today. When my daughter needed blood for her surgery, my daughter, look, y'all heard me say to y'all this evening, right? You're only dead when you're dead. And the experiences I've had, it's not bluff, you know. When I tell you all the experiences I've had, right, have taught me that. My daughter was informed at least 4 times. You know how you pick up somebody and say, yeah, come in, but you know? At least 4 times we got the call, okay, yeah, come in. Yeah, we can do the surgery today. And for one reason or another, on the way down by spot, you know, there's heart surgery, open heart surgery. At least 4 times it happened where we did that, we're preparing, my heart almost giving out, and then you hear, oh, don't bother, we had an emergency, you got to cancel. 4 times rescheduled. And every time, blood had to be given. Every time this happened, some people had to go to the blood bank and give blood. And that same individual, without me really knowing him that well or he knowing me that well, just because of that one incident, he rounded up tons of men, to this day I don't even know all of them, and took them to the blood bank to donate blood for my daughter, just because of that incident. I didn't know where it would lead to. I didn't know that we would be friends after that. I didn't know that we would keep in contact after university. You understand what I'm saying? We have to understand the value of our relationships. I could not pay people to go and give blood for my daughter, right? Because if somebody said they can't give blood, they can't give blood. There's nothing you can do about that, you know. But to have somebody who cared enough, there's no amount of money, there's no price tag that you could put to that. And I'm just pleading with us just to be different. The change can start with us. We have an opportunity to make it. We don't have to be a big group. We don't have to be a big group. When you look at things like Mother Teresa and different people that we admire, when we look at what they did, we don't have to be a lot. It doesn't have to be a lot of us. You know, we can do small things with great love and have great impact. But it first has to start with that intentional decision. I am going to change in this area. I'm going to make a difference in this area. I'm going to make a difference in my small network, in my small community. I have decided to be different. People tell me, oh, but Cheryl, you share this, you tell this. Yes, because I know what it costs. I know what it costed me when people didn't tell me. I know what it costed me. I know what it costed me when people didn't help me. I know what it felt like to have to do life alone. I know what it felt like. I know what it felt like to make mistakes and know that there's somebody who had the answer to that same problem and question sitting right beside you. I know what that feels like. Yeah. Right? I would not even want that to happen to my enemy. I don't even entertain the concept of enemies. I tell people every person that hate me is my friend. We can see who gonna win. You hate me or you like. See if you could outbeat me loving you. Because my role is to convert you to a friend. People talk about know your enemies. I won't study that somebody won't shoot me. Nah, use my friend. If I treat you like a friend, you gotta act like one. That's how we operate. So you know that you don't like me, but the way you can deal with you can be confused. To the point where people know, I mean, I did it with my ex-husband. To the point that people, they believe that the things I say he do to me, he do. He took me to Concept Bay, had me and the children playing off in the backseat. He told me he can kill me and throw my body over Concept Bay. I deal with him the next day as if he didn't do that. Because I got confused you. I got confused you. Because if I behave and if I treat you as though, yes, I am intimidated, and I believe that that's what you're going to do, and I'm giving you the power to do it, then hey, no. No. So a lot of women that I see get killed in domestic violence, they don't understand the strategy, right? No. Hi, good morning. God bless you. Yeah. How much is it gonna hurt me? Wait, you don't like me? Here's a piece of sweet bread. You know, you had breakfast here. Have a mango. You understand? You understand? The Bible says to you heap coals of fire. You understand? You understand how serious that is in warfare? Huh? You understand how serious that is? You understand that that's what our Prime Minister did. When you think of the season that we were in and some of the countries that she decided, well, hey, we got Trinidad and every water. Listen, I had the guy, there's the policeman who does the traffic report, the guy who used to do it for, I can't remember his name right now, but y'all would know his name. That guy came to my house, sat down and said, he said, Cheryl, let me tell you something. He said, you see that Prime Minister, yeah? Let me tell you something about she boy. You see when them the cruise boats in the water, me and Marley said there's human beings just like me. We can't left them out there. Now, Bajans and everybody, the whole COVID thing, everybody was again saying, man, no, she putting herself at risk. Remember, Mia went and walked out to the boat, right? Putting herself at risk, you know what that man told me? Man said, Cheryl, me and Marley called me as he headed the convoy. Me and Marley said, listen, this is what I want you to do for me. We taking these people straight from this ship, straight to hotels. We ain't letting them come into contact with nobody for them to say that we contaminate and we kill people but here. So you leading the convoy, we get in he had to organize the tour buses from different companies. Boom, then people get into tour buses, left from down by the port. And he told me, when Trinidad said the borders closed, they ain't taking back the one people that had to stay here, me feed them, whatever. The man told me when it was time now that these people could go back. He said, you know what Prime Minister do? And then me and Molly call him again and say, listen, we got another situation I want you to handle for me. Round up some tour buses. Get the back of the airport open. The buses going straight from the tarmac, straight to the flight, and then people left in Barbados because they ain't going through to do the ticketing booth or the man said, that's what me do. He led the convoy of buses straight out to the airplane. People get off the thing and went back and prepared and went back with the thing. You understand what I'm saying? So understand how that position her now. Not only as far as, so you could understand, anything happen to Barbados now, and Trinidad decide they may help him. You understand the same people that was in Barbados that may help, now we're going to put pressure on Trinidad because, wait, no, you can't do that. Yeah. You understand all the Trinidadians now confused? Nah, we got to help Barbados. And not only Trinidad, but the whole Caribbean, the rest of the world, everybody now know who Barbados is. Wait, brother, I'm gonna let you say no. So if you as a Barbadian think that you're in a body and you don't understand how important you are, and you don't understand where your voice and your business can go because of little things like that you may say ain't gonna do with you.
Little help in hand.
Understand. Understand. When the man said, Charles, that's what the Prime Minister do?
Yeah.
Prime Minister says, get them buses, open the back of the airport, boom, drive them straight to the plane. Nobody can say, thing, he said he led the convoy buses